And this is the crazy aunt I want to take on the road?
I am not your aunt.
What? Really?
I have no possible relationship to your sibling offspring.
Now you're kidding me.
Oh, you two are killing me.
Wait a second, how did we miss that? Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 supernatural plot holes you never noticed. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at those supernatural inconsistencies that you wouldn't have spotted or thought twice about on your first watch. Since you need to know the plot to find out the inconsistencies behind them, here's your one and only spoiler alert. Number 10. Why the angels are still in their vessels when they're in heaven.
Do you know what powers heaven, Castiel?
Yes. Angels.
In the world of supernatural, the spiritual beings known as angels need vessels or meat suits in order for them to walk the earth. This basically means they have to possess some poor human soul. This is because the angel's true form isn't exactly easy on the eyes. In heaven, though, they're described as marvelous beings of creation. Since we've first been introduced to them and learned all this, we've seen the angels gather in numerous non-earthly situations, like conducting their heavenly duties, holding board meetings, and in their personal prison known as Heaven's Dungeon. But for some reason, these angels are always in their vessels, even when they don't need to be. The same seems to go for demons, who aren't as smoky as they should be when we see them in hell. Number 9. Being wanted by the police.
License and reg. Yep. Ashley J. Williams, huh?
Oh, you can call me Ash.
Out of the car, Ashley.
When we say the boys have had their fair share of run-ins with the authorities, that's really more of an understatement. We've seen them pursued by the police, have their own wanted posters, and even incarcerated after the Secret Service believed they were attempting to kill the president. In Season 7, Leviathans posed as Sam and Dean while on a crime spree, sparking a nationwide search for the boys. Although the Winchesters travel from one city to another frequently, it's hard to believe no one recognized these two most wanted criminals.
Keep that up! I didn't say you could put that down. I want the whole world to know what Sam and Dean Winchester are capable of.
Meanwhile, our heroes never showed any concerns over the possibility of being identified, nor did they bother to change their appearances in any way. It's not like these two blend in with the crowd that easily, especially considering their heights, their good looks, and Sam Winchester's gloriously long locks. Number 8. Jimmy's body harboring Lucifer, Castiel, and Crowley, despite not being their true vessel.
Gas, expel him! You gotta kick Lucifer out, you hear me?
The rules of angelic possession are pretty clear. A human needs to give consent in order to become a vessel. There's one little catch though. Only possessing a true vessel allows an angel to have access to all of their abilities. The use of temporary vessels isn't always a pretty sight, and it took Lucifer consuming gallons of demon blood to prevent Nick's body from exploding. However, Season 11 had both Lucifer and Castiel share the body of Jimmy Novak, with no such problems on the outside.
What if he doesn't make it?
Dean, it's a strong vessel. It's held Cass for years, and we know what he's been through. I'm guessing it can hold Lucifer.
Hell, even the king of hell himself, Crowley, entered the vessel at the same time while trying to reach out to Castiel, and it took quite a while before Jimmy started to burn out. We saw Lucifer destroy Vince Vincente's body through prolonged possession in Season 12, but this just didn't apply to Jimmy's body, and the only explanation we've ever been given is that this is because it is strong. Number 7. God not realizing Gabriel was still alive. The Archangel Gabriel seemingly met his end at the hands of his brother Lucifer in Season 5.
Amateur hocus pocus. And don't forget, you learned all your tricks from me, little brother.
After several seasons of teasing his survival, Gabriel returned in Season 13, this time as a prisoner of the Prince of Hell, Asmodeus. Flashbacks revealed that Gabriel had staged his death in order to live a life of splendor, before being kidnapped by demons. This doesn't explain how Gabriel's survival went unnoticed by God, who believed his son was dead when the heroes needed him to fight Amara in Season 11.
Well, Michael's in no condition to fight, and it's outside of my power to bring Gabriel and Raphael back.
Considering God is supposed to be all-knowing, you'd think a regular old demon like Asmodeus would have been easy for him to spot. Maybe God should have done a little more searching and a little less singing. Number 6. Amara calling Lucifer first.
You let my brother in.
Well, turns out he and I have something in common. We both want to gut your ass.
The end game behind the apocalypse was the fated fight between younger brother Lucifer and older brother Michael, with Sam and Dean acting as their vessels to perfectly parallel this dynamic. Lucifer's repeated goofy antics made it clear he was supposed to be the younger sibling, with the devil openly acknowledging this fact. Season 11 saw Amara hold Lucifer captive in order to force Chuck out of hiding to rescue his son. However, the darkness calls Lucifer the first son of God while he's in Castiel's body, which completely throws the apocalypse storyline into disarray.
As God's favorite, his first son, you may be the one thing in all of creation that he still cares about. The one thing that could finally make him show himself.
If Lucifer was the eldest brother, then that would make Dean his true vessel, not Sam. Either that, or it looks like Auntie Amara might have forgotten her nephew's birthdays. Number 5. Angels resurrected from the empty. Resurrection is a little bit more complicated for angels than humans.
Nothing but empty, and you are soaking in it. Angels and demons, you all come here when you die.
Deceased angels find themselves in the empty, which is a realm shrouded in total darkness, and that is ruled by an entity called the Shadow. This being claims it has sole dominion over the empty, where angels and demons remain sleeping for eternity. However, Castiel has died quite a lot on the show. We've seen him explode multiple times, be stabbed to death, and still come back to life. 4 of Castiel's resurrections have been explained as revivals by God and an angel named Gabriel, both of which are beings that aren't the Shadow.
Yes, are you God?
That's a nice compliment. But no. Although I do believe he brought me back.
But if the Shadow is the only cosmic entity that's supposed to have power in the empty, then that means Castiel shouldn't have woken up on previous occasions. Are we to believe that God and/or Gabriel somehow sneaked in while the Shadow was sleeping? Number 4. Souls dying in purgatory.
It's like the backside of your worst nightmares. It's all blood and bone and darkness, filled with the bodies and souls of all things hungry, sharp, and nasty.
Souls in the supernatural universe have apparently limitless energy. Even beings as powerful as God and Death have claimed they can't destroy a soul, which seems to make them indestructible. So this is why we're scratching our heads over what happens to these particular souls in purgatory. The realm is an eternal Hunger Games style wasteland where the souls of deceased monsters are fated to hunt each other. In the year Dean and Castiel were trapped in purgatory, we saw our heroes kill numerous monsters, but there's no explanation over what happened to their souls.
Does present a curious curl in the metaphysics, doesn't it? If you murder a monster in monster heaven, where does it go?
If souls are truly immutable, then where do the essences of these monsters go once they've been killed? Number 3. The Winchester's resurrections. Remember when Supernatural would make you cry your heart out whenever one of the brothers met their deaths?
What am I supposed to do? Save me.
Sam and Dean grieving the death of the other was one of the most moving aspects of the show, but after a while it did start to feel like an all too common occurrence. After dying and returning so many times, one would expect that Sam and Dean would know that death is just temporary for either of them, and that they'd somehow be able to bring their deceased sibling back to life like they've done before.
Hey, wake up, buddy. Hey. Dean!
Instead, every time one of them comes close to death and/or kicks the buckets, the boys act as if they've never been in a similar situation, are completely devastated beyond belief, and have to think of an entirely new way to resurrect or to be resurrected. Number 2. The inconsistent damage made by Ruby's knife. In hell, the demons have a hierarchy of their own, with the white-eyed spirits being at the very top.
So you lost a magic knife, huh?
Yeah, saving your ass.
Ever since Lucifer corrupted Lilith into becoming one, they're considered the strongest demons of all. They're obviously very hard to kill, especially permanently, so this is where the demon killing knife comes in. We've seen lower level demons brush off attacks by this weapon, which is also known as Ruby's knife. So logically, this immunity should apply to Lilith as well. However, during the one instance where she did face this knife, Lilith was more than a little terrified.
Give me the knife. Maybe I can fight it off.
What?
Come on! That dust won't last forever.
If other lesser demons have shown resistance to this weapon, then it should have been a joke against the Queen of Hell. But since Sam killed Lilith in Season 4, it seems we'll never know why the first demon feared it so. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
You hustled me. Well, you're pretty quick for a guy who's all hair gel and body spray. Thanks, fellas. Guys. Damn, it's good to see you. Nice peach fuzz.
Punish him. Sit down and shut up.
Yeah, you know, all this driving back and forth across country. You know, I've never been to the Grand Canyon. Or we could go to TJ.
Hey, you remember when Dad took us to the bottom of the Grand Canyon on that back mule ride?
The what?
And your mule kept farting, just letting him go like gale force.
Boys, we got Rougarou on our hands.
Rougarou? Is that made up? That sounds made up. You remember when we were kids, a spring in upstate New York? Dad was on a Rougarou hunt. We crashed at the bungalow colony with a ping pong table.
Yeah, you disappeared. Dad came back, you were gone.
Number 1, Forgetting Adam.
Who is it? That's our brother.
The underlying theme of Supernatural has been family. The Winchesters are fiercely loyal to blood and protect those they consider as part of their surrogate family. Unfortunately, this sentiment doesn't seem to extend to their half-brother, Adam Milligan. The youngest son of John Winchester fell into Lucifer's cage, along with Sam in the season 5 finale, where he's remained ever since. For all the Winchesters talk about placing family first, the boys don't seem too worried about the fact that their little brother is in hell.
I want you to get them both out.
Pick one.
What?
Sam's soul or Adam's?
Aside from Dean trying to unsuccessfully convince Death to let both Sam and Adam out in season 6, as well as a few brief references later on, it seems that Dean's too busy looking for pie to remember that saving people, hunting things, is the family business. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.